10 best overlooked places to live in the U.S.
Number 10, Overland Park, Kansas. Overland Park is a city in the Kansas City
Overland Park.
metro area. Kansas City doesn't have the
I've
best
been to
reputation,
Kansas,
but
though.
Overland Park does. Overland Park is one of the best places to live in the United States right now. But welcome to Overland Park, a place so shockingly livable, you'll wonder why no one has told you about it sooner. Wonder no longer. I'm going to tell you why they don't tell you about it. They want to keep it a secret. Crime minimal. Housing affordable. Jobs abundant enough to keep you from asking your mom for rent money. Sure, it's in Kansas, but don't let that scare you. There's more here than flatlands and tornado warnings. Overland Park thrives on its family-friendly vibe. With
Can't do
great
that.
schools, enough parks to make your golden retriever.
I'm not living nowhere where they got tornado warnings. I've been in one tornado, and I'm not ever being nowhere where that could happen again, ever. Ever in my life. That, bruh, it's crazy. Never again.
Blush, and there's farmers markets too. That is one of the biggest things, or the most popular things people.
I was in Indiana when that happened, by the way. I was in Indiana when we was in the tornado.
Search on Google when they're moving to a new place. Farmers markets. I mean, they're nice, but to actually base where you're moving to or be so curious that you're going to look it up, that's weird to me, but who cares? I just got Whole Foods and I'm good to go there. If you don't know what a farmer's market is, go to Whole Foods. Now imagine that, but a lot cheaper. Overland Park has affordable real estate, affordable rent prices, and a cost of living that is even with the national average. Now, okay, it's average. It's not below the national average, but this is a great place to live. That's what makes that so important. If it's a great place to live, the cost of living is usually high. Now, the only reason they're not higher on this list, or lower, I should say, in a better position, is they are next to Kansas
places.
City, and that's got some
all
problems.
of them.
And it's also in Kansas, which is kind of boring. The average home value in Overland Park, Kansas is $431,000. Number 9, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Ann Arbor, the city where Midwestern charm meets intellectual snobbery in the best way possible. Home to the University of Michigan, it's a town where you can enjoy an espresso so pretentious it practically critiques your outfit. But hey, the schools are great, the unemployment rate is laughably low, and the crime is almost non-existent. Probably because everyone's too busy debating art history or engineering breakthroughs. Housing is still relatively affordable. It's not the cheapest on this list, but it's not terrible. Where it really shines if you move just a little outside of the city, the prices drop drastically. On this one, we're really talking about the Ann Arbor, Michigan area, the metro area, not just the city itself. I should have been clear on that in the beginning. They have tons of green spaces, quirky shops, and enough bookstores to keep your inner.
That's because on the outsides around it, you got the hoods and the ghettos. And he talking about the inner part, the metropolitan area. He ain't talking about the city. You feel me? He mean like the downtown inside business fucking like school areas and all that. But he ain't talking about the city surrounding all of that goodness. That's why he said that.
Nerd happy. Ann Arbor is perfect for those who want a small town vibe with big city perks. Pro tip though, root for the Wolverines, that's the university's football team, baseball, everything, their team, or risk public exile. The average home value in Ann Arbor, Michigan is $506,000. Like I said, not the cheapest, but still, it's not terrible like Los Angeles where it's $900,000 or New York where it's like over $1 million.
Insane.
Number 8, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I almost called it Sioux City, and I promise you, as this one goes on, I will struggle not to call it Sioux City like 9 different times. Sioux Falls, the dark horse on the list of the MVPs of the Midwest. This city has everything: a thriving economy, low crime, affordable housing, and enough cornfields nearby to remind you that yes, this is the heartland. And it might freak you out if you remember Children of the Corn. What's that kid's name in that? Mordecai? So if you've never seen the movie, in these cornfields, there's a whole group of kids that live in there, and they're like homicidal weirdos. They kill people. They got a little weird cult growing on in the corn. Watch it. You'll never look at cornfields the same again. It's got the small town feel, but with amenities that would make any big city dweller jealous. The city's namesake waterfall is located in Falls Park. It is kind of a scenic gem that'll make you forget that you're in South Dakota. Yes, believe it or not, South Dakota can be very beautiful. I think it's under the radar when it comes to that. Most people think, think about beautiful states. They think about West Virginia, Oregon, Colorado, anywhere in New England. But no, South Dakota has some amazingly beautiful places. The job market, thriving thanks to its booming healthcare and finance industries. Housing, still affordable, which is basically a miracle these days. And if you're into community events, Sioux Falls hosts everything from outdoor concerts to quirky festivals, celebrating, being in South Dakota. They celebrate that a lot there. Seriously, it's cooler than you think, or cooler than most people have let on. Again, I think the locals do that and they tell you it sucks because they don't want you moving there. The average home value in Sioux Falls is $324,000. Number 7, Bentonville, Arkansas. Surprise! The northwest corner of Arkansas, especially Bentonville, is here to blow your mind. And I've talked about this before. This part of Arkansas is not like the rest of Arkansas. It is missing out on a little bit of Arkansas's beauty, but it's definitely not missing out on its crime and poverty. This place is pretty decent. Yes, Arkansas, a state most people think is just Walmart headquarters and a bunch of mosquitoes. It's pretty decent state. Bentonville, though, it's like the cool cousin that shows up at family reunions wearing designer clothes and insists, it's vintage. Bentonville combines small-town vibes with big city perks. Crime rates are low, and the housing market won't make you cry into your ramen noodles. And speaking of Walmart, its corporate headquarters has transformed this town into a hub of art, culture, and jobs. Don't believe it? Visit Crystal Bridge Museum of American Arts, which looks like something straight out of an architectural magazine and has an art collection that rivals cities 10 times its size. That's no lie. I've been to it. It's impressive. And wait, there's more. Outdoorsy types will swoon over the Ozark Mountains and world-class biking trails. Plus, the food scene is surprisingly bougie for a city where camouflage is considered business casual. Bentonville is not just for bargain hunters anymore. Good place to live. The average home value in Bentonville, Arkansas is $460,000.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car.
That look crazy.
Okay, I picked up the car.
Number 6, Plano, Texas. Ah, yes, Plano, Texas. You might know about it because I've talked about it here before. I grew up around Torrance, California, really Redondo Beach and Torrance. It's kind of the South Bay area of Los Angeles. One of the biggest employers was Toyota Corporation. They had their West Coast headquarters in Torrance. They decided to pick up and move to Texas some years back. I think it's been about 15 years now. I don't know how many employees they had, but I know at least 10 people that were good friends of mine, including one of my high school ex-girlfriend. She moved to Plano with Toyota. She's still there. But Plano is where the American dream seems suspiciously attainable. Great schools, safe streets, and a housing market that doesn't laugh in your face. It's almost too good to be true. Located just outside of Dallas, Plano gives you the suburban tranquility without sacrificing big city amenities like fancy steakhouses and professional sports. Feel like I should start doing this like a game show announcer. Tell them what they won, Chuck. Well, they've won peace and tranquility and sports teams, along with the big juicy steak. But don't let the suburban label fool you into thinking that it's boring. Between sprawling parks and artsy historic downtown and enough Tex-Mex to keep you in a perpetual food coma, Plano is livelier than your last group text. Just brace yourself for Texas summers. They're brutal. Nothing says quality of life like sweating through your t-shirt at 8 a.m. The average home value in Plano, Texas is about $512,000.
That Texas heat different.
Number 5, Lincoln, Nebraska. Lincoln is quite the overachiever in the Midwest. You know, the one that doesn't brag, but still wins all the awards. Low crime? Check. Affordable housing? Double check. Thriving job market? Yep. Lincoln isn't flashy, but it's one of the most solid choices if you're looking for a no-nonsense place to live that delivers on all the important stuff. Home to the University of Nebraska, Lincoln has a youthful energy balanced with a family-friendly vibe. The city's bike trails and parks are so plentiful that you might actually start enjoying exercise. And while Nebraska might scream cornfields like we talked about earlier, for Overland for Kansas, because they're pretty much the same state, Lincoln's downtown area is buzzing with cafes, breweries, and restaurants that punch above their weight class. Bonus is, the locals are so nice, they'll probably wave at you while you're still a stranger. The cool thing about Nebraska, and I think Kansas also, they've got at least another decade before they even get close to being considered a hot spot. I mean, they're worth it. And I think they're really both overlooked. I mean, any city, any town you can find in those two states. You might as well throw Iowa in there too. But I don't think they're going to really catch on unless something major happens. Like they decide corn cures cancer, or it works better than plastic surgery. The average home value in Lincoln, Nebraska is $275,000.
That's crazy.
Number 4, Southeast Virginia. Now, this is the first one that's an area more than a city or a metro area. This is just a whole area. Down there, you got Virginia Beach, Newport News, and Norfolk. Now, you'll hear me call it Norfolk in this because every time I pronounce it the way the locals like it pronounced, the algorithm picks it up as profanity. Let's kind of talk about the towns that are there.
What?
Virginia Beach is what happens when coastal living decides to be accessible to, actual people. It's got all the perks of a beach town. Sand, waves, seafood, without requiring you to sell your soul to the devil or take a blood oath to a crime organization. Speaking of crime, the crime rate low, jobs steady, housing still affordable. The schools are great and the neighborhoods are friendly. Just one piece of advice, avoid the touristy spots in the summer unless you have a deep fondness for swarms of screaming children, overpriced ice cream, and the occasional oblivious seagull stealing your fries. But wait, there's more. Neighboring towns, Newport News and Norfolk, are like the supporting cast of this coastal sitcom. Newport News offers historical charm and military pride, with enough museums to make you feel like a cultural genius. Norfolk, on the other hand, keeps the energy alive with vibrant waterfront scenes and an amazing zoo, with more craft breweries than your liver can handle. Together, these towns create a trifecta of livability that proves you don't need to sacrifice quality of life for a seaside zip code. Virginia Beach is like Malibu's less pretentious cousin. The average home value in Virginia Beach is $400,000. Number 3, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Back to the center of the country we go with Cedar Rapids, affectionately called City of Five Seasons. Don't ask me what the 5th one is. I think it might be extra chill. It's actually from a Bible verse. That should tell you something about the place. They like to do their praying. Cedar Rapids has some pretty good stats. Low crime, of course. Affordable housing, yep. Solid economy, you bet. This is Iowa after all. All that is practically in their DNA. The city's cost of living is so reasonable you might start to believe it's a typo. And while Iowa isn't known for its thrills, Cedar Rapids punches above its weight class with a surprising vibrant art scene and cultural scene, including the Czech Village and New Bohemian District, where you can explore galleries, shops, and cafes. Plus, the city is packed with parks, trails, so you can spend your weekends pretending you're outdoorsy before heading to one of the many craft breweries. Kind of like, you go out and exercise a little bit and then you stop by Dunkin' Donuts. That's what I do all the time. I lift weights and go, you know what, I deserve Dunkin' Donuts. I watched an exercise video. I need a milkshake. Not that bad, but sometimes I'll think about it. The average home value in Cedar Rapids, Iowa is $192,000.
Kind of low. Okay.
Lately, I've been carving out more time to read, but
Iowa look kind of good. I ain't gonna lie. That look hard out there.
feel them, test.
Number 2, Provo, Utah. Provo's like the overachiever in the class of livable cities. It boasts low crime, jaw-dropping mountain views, and a housing market that's still manageable compared to its overpriced neighbors like Salt Lake City. Add in a booming tech scene and the unbeatable outdoor recreation options, and it's no wonder people are flocking here faster than a Utah snowstorm. It's weird, the last 3 or 4 times I've been through Salt Lake City area, it's been heavy snow. We almost didn't get to we're doing a layover there, and they almost scratched our plane like 3 different times. It was an emotional roller coaster. I had a cruise to get on. Provo is famously home to Brigham Young University, which gives the city a youthful vibe and plenty of cultural events, even if you're not a Mormon. Plus, the Provo River offers some of the best fishing, kayaking, and scenic picnics you'll find everywhere. Just remember, Utah's liquor laws are a bit quirky, so BYOB might take on a whole new meaning. Now, when I was taking a cultural geography class, I took many, but one of them, they were talking about Brigham Young University and their athletes and how they excelled at so many different things, and they were just very fit. And the question came, when the Mormons came west, it was a survival of the fittest type thing. So the strongest
pretty
people
sure he was
made it
gonna
to
start
Utah,
talking about
and then they,
Mormons.
bred with the strongest
talking
people,
about
and
Utah.
they created stronger people. The other theory was that for most of the had all
I
kinds
ain't
of theories, so
listening
I
to
don't want you to
none
go,
of
oh,
that.
that's not true. What it is this. No, it's a bunch of different things, and they had theories. There's no answer. The average home value in Provo, Utah
I don't know what bro was talking about and going into, but I was not about to listen to none of that bull crap.
is $465,000. All right, before we get to number
Get to
one,
the
if you're
last
thinking about
one.
moving to another city, state, whatever in the U.S., there's a link for a website called Home and Money, Rochester, Minnesota. Home to the Mayo Clinic. Rochester is perfect for those who want top-tier healthcare at their doorstep, and the city that actually feels like it cares about its residents. It's consistently ranked as one of the safest cities in the U.S., and the unemployment rate is so low, you might actually find yourself with a job you didn't even apply for. Housing here is affordable, and the schools are excellent, making it a favorite for families. If you're into outdoor activities, you'll love the city's parks, trails, and proximity to the Zumbro River. And for
don't
those
look
of you
bad,
who
though.
like art galleries, live music,
look
and
kinda
enough
cool
coffee
out
shops to
there.
keep you caffeinated through all 4 seasons, this is a great place to live. Yes, the winters are cold, but that's what hot cocoa and a good parka are there for. The average home value in Rochester, Minnesota is about $319,000.
Okay. I don't know. Iowa kind of looked the best on here to me out of all of the ones he showed. Let me know what y'all think the best one is.